Hello students of class 11, welcome to the online tutorial classes for Vidya Bhavan High Secondary School. This video is for class 11 nutrition and the chapter that I am going to continue is the water, and this video is the last of this chapter. So in the previous video we started the regulation of the water balance, and in this video we will also continue with it. Because in the previous video we have already discussed the digestive processes and by kidneys and also the thirst mechanism. Thirst and satiety we have already been discussed. So now the only thing left, that is the hormonal control, and it is a very important part in this regulation of the water balance. So now we are going to discuss it with the symmetrical diagram and with the discussion. So let's check with the diagram. Now we are going to discuss about the hormonal control of the regulation of water balance. So when the water intake is insufficient or water loss is excess due to any reason, can be of perspiration, can be of heavy work, can be of not taking the water in the proper amount, anything can be possible. The kidneys compensate the conserving water for excreting more concentrated urine. So the kidney help to excrete more, and it is excreting more times. For that the urine can got concentrated and the water can be reabsorbed from it. So the renal tubules increase water reabsorption in response to the hormone, that action of the ADH. The ADH hormone is the main responsible factor for this reaction, and released by the posterior pituitary under the situated or the stimulation by the hypothalamus. So when the hypothalamus stimulates the ADH and which is present in the posterior pituitary, then it only can release, and then the response function can be initiated. So this helps to restore the water balance, which is very critical in maintaining the blood volume or blood plasma. So cells in the kidneys respond to the low blood pressure by releasing an enzyme called renin, which is in turn causes the kidneys to reabsorb more amount of the water and increase the blood water volume. So renin acts as very important factor in the reabsorption of the water through the kidneys. So the renin activities and the protein called angiotensins, which form an active enzyme, angiotensin. Angiotensin also mediated the release of the hormones like aldosterone hormone, which causes the kidneys to retain more amount of the sodium and thus water. So these hormones help in the regulation of the water balance, and it is very important in the regulation because without them the proper absorption cannot be happen, because the regulation of the water balance help to like leave the person, because it's a very important function, and the most important role is taken by the hormones, because they also can regulate the thirst procedure, they also can regulate the reabsorption procedure, they also can regulate the other all procedures of the regulation of water balance. So this is a schematic diagram of it. In the left part upper, the kidneys responds to reduce the blood flow by releasing the enzymes called renin, that I told that the renin is a very important factor in it. In this, now it is going in the blood, it is mixing with the blood, and the renin initiates the activation of the protein like angiotensinogen or angiotensinogen to angiotensin. So the first one is the inactive part of the angiotensins, from which the active angiotensin can be produced. So now the angiotensins, these reactions by two procedure, like it can constrict the adrenal gland, and it can also increase the blood vessel pressure. So finally the adrenal gland secretes the aldosterone by this procedure. Now this aldosterone coming out in the kidneys that retain the sodium and water, thus increasing the water volume. So it is the procedure by this renin and other hormones. In the right part, that the hypothalamus responds to high salt concentration in the blood by saturation the pituitary gland. So when the hypothalamus make understand that here is concentration became higher, so it's started to release the ADH from the posterior pituitary part. So the pituitary gland became activated, and the pituitary gland released the antidiuretic hormone, that is called ADH. ADH is also called antidiuretic hormone. So now the ADH hormone get released, and as the ADH hormone released, it can increase the water retention. That means the kidneys retain sodium and water, thus increasing the blood volume. So it is all about the maintenance of the blood water balance by the hormonal effect or by the hormonal procedure. So students, I am completing this video with this knowledge of the water balance. It is all about this water chapter. In this video, we discussed about the distribution of the water at very first, then the compartments of the water, that means where the water are present in our body. In the next, we have discussed about the functions of the water, that means what are the important functions that water does in our body. Then we went for the complications of the excess of water. It is a new thing for us that we don't know that how the more water can also be cause of the diseases, that we learn. Next, the water balance, that means how the water can be intake and output happens, how it can be in the balanced state, that we discussed. And the next, we discussed about the regulation of the water balance, that means the full water that is present inside of us, how it can be balanced, and by diagrams also, and by the mathematical expressions also. So we will make a new video from the new chapters. Till then, thank you.